Mr. Tickle by Roger Hargreaves. Biscuit, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a small flat dry cake for one person, usually sweet and baked until hard. Example: we were offered a cup of tea and a biscuit. Butcher, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a person whose job is cutting up and selling meat in a shop. Example: the butcher sold me some slices of pork for my dinner. Chuckling, verb, a word that shows an action. Definition: to be laughing quietly. Example: he was chuckling as he thought about his teacher stuck in the snow. Doctor, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a person whose job is treating people who are sick or injured. Example: the doctor listened to the boy's heart. Enormous, adjective, a word that describes a person, place or thing. Definition: extremely large. Example: they all try to pull the enormous turnip out of the ground. Eventually, adverb, a word that describes how something is done. Definition: at the end of a period of time or series of events. Example: he hopes to eventually play soccer after doing his homework. Extraordinary, adjective, a word that describes a person, place or thing. Definition: unexpected, surprising or strange. Example: the child's intelligence was extraordinary. Furious, adjective, a word that describes a person, place or thing. Definition: very angry. Example: the teacher was furious with her lazy students. Greengrocer, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a person who works in a shop selling fruit and vegetables. Example: my local greengrocer always has the freshest produce. Ledge, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a narrow flat shelf fixed to a wall, especially one below a window. Example: the cat curled up on the window ledge and went to sleep. Mischievous, adjective, a word that describes a person, place or thing. Definition: enjoying playing tricks and annoying people. Example: the girl was well behaved, but she had a mischievous smile. Pandemonium, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a situation where there is a lot of noise and activity with a great lack of order, especially because people are feeling angry or frightened. Example: it was pandemonium after 2 big earthquakes struck the town. Passengers, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: people who are travelling by car, bus, train, plane or ship and who are not driving or working on it. Example: all the passengers on the plane were eating or sleeping. Perhaps, adverb, a word that describes how something is done. Definition: used to say that something might exist, happen or be true, but you are not certain. Example: if the clouds are dark grey, perhaps you should take your umbrella. Postman, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a person whose job is to collect and deliver letters, packages and parcels. Example: the postman drives a big red van to deliver all the mail. Puddle, noun, a word used to name people, places or things. Definition: a small amount of water or other liquid, especially rain that has collected in one place on the ground. Example, the old woman gazed at her reflection in the puddle. Stretch. Verb, a word that shows an action. Definition, to make something longer, wider, or looser, usually by pulling it. Example, the children would pull and stretch the toy slime they had made. Tickle. Verb, a word that shows an action. Definition, to move your fingers on a sensitive part of somebody's body in a way that makes them laugh. Example, the bigger girls used to chase and tickle him. Traffic. Noun, a word used to name people, places, or things. Definition, all vehicles that are on a road at a particular time. Example, there's always a lot of traffic at this time of day. Yawn. Verb, a word that shows an action. Definition, to open your mouth wide and breathe in deeply through it, usually because you are tired or bored. Example, when one person yawns, other people tend to yawn too. Mr. Tickle by Roger Hargreaves, as read by Teacher Reese. It was a warm, sunny morning. In his small house at the other side of the wood, Mr. Tickle was asleep. You didn't know that there was such a thing as a tickle, did you? Well, there is. Tickles are small and round, and they have arms that stretch and stretch and stretch. Extraordinary long arms. Mr. Tickle was fast asleep. He was having a dream. It must have been a very funny dream, because it made him laugh out loud, and that woke him up. He sat up in bed, stretched his extraordinary long arms, and yawned an enormous yawn. Mr. Tickle felt hungry, so do you know what he did? He reached out one of his extraordinary long arms, opened the bedroom door, reached down the stairs, opened the kitchen door, reached into the kitchen cupboard, opened the biscuit tin, took out a biscuit, brought it back upstairs, in through the bedroom door, and back to Mr. Tickle in bed. As you can see, it's very useful indeed, having arms as long as Mr. Tickle's. Mr. Tickle munched his biscuit. He looked out of the window. Today looks very much like a tickling day, he thought to himself. So, later that morning, after Mr. Tickle had made his bed and cooked his breakfast, he set off through the wood. As he walked along, he kept his eyes very wide open, looking for somebody to tickle, looking for anybody to tickle. Eventually, Mr. Tickle came to a school. There was nobody about, so reaching up his extraordinary long arms to a high window ledge, Mr. Tickle pulled himself up and peeped in through the open window. Inside, he could see a classroom. There were children sitting at their desks, and a teacher writing on the blackboard. Mr. Tickle waited a minute and then reached in through the window. Mr. Tickle's extraordinary long arm went right up to the teacher, paused, and then tickled. The teacher jumped in the air and turned round very quickly to see who was there. But there was nobody there. Mr. Tickle grinned a mischievous grin. He waited another minute and then tickled the teacher again. This time he kept on tickling until soon the teacher was laughing out loud and saying, "Stop it! Stop it!" over and over again. All the children were laughing too at such a funny sight. There was a terrible pandemonium. Eventually, Mr. Tickle thought that he had had enough fun, so he gave the teacher one more tickle for luck, and then very quietly brought his arm back through the open window. Chuckling to himself, he jumped down from the window, leaving the poor teacher to explain what it was all about, which of course he couldn't. Then Mr. Tickle went to town. And what a day Mr. Tickle had! He tickled a policeman on traffic duty at the crossroads in the middle of town. It caused an enormous traffic jam. He tickled the greengrocer just as he was piling apples neatly in his shop window. The greengrocer fell over backwards, and the apples rolled all over the shop. At the railway station, the guard was about to wave his flag for the train to leave. As he lifted his arm in the air, Mr. Tickle tickled him. And every time he tried to wave his flag, Mr. Tickle tickled him until the train was 10 minutes late leaving the station, and all the passengers were furious. That day, Mr. Tickle tickled everybody. He tickled the doctor, he tickled the butcher, he even tickled old Mr. Stamp, the postman, who dropped all his letters into a puddle. Then Mr. Tickle went home. Sitting in his armchair, in his small house at the other side of the wood, he laughed and laughed every time he thought about all the people he had tickled. So, if you are in any way ticklish, beware of Mr. Tickle and those extraordinary long arms of his. Just think, perhaps he's somewhere about at this very moment while you're reading this book. Perhaps that extraordinary long arm of his is already creeping up to the door of this room. Perhaps it's opening the door now and coming into the room. Perhaps, before you know what is happening, you will be well and truly tickled.